Hi everyone, I am San and you're watching my YouTube channel Code with San. Today we'll see how Google Forms works. As I told you in the last video that we'll learn Google Forms in upcoming videos. So what is basically Google Forms? We'll try to understand that today, and we'll also create our own Google form. And in the next video we'll see how to design a quiz, because Google Forms has got also that feature. So let's get to start. First of all, in our web browser we'll write forms.google.com. This is the URL that takes you to Google Forms homepage. So this is the homepage of your Google Forms. What does this homepage consist of? I'm sorry. So first of all, you have got the logo of Google Forms. Here you got the search bar. These are the Google apps, and this is your account. And these are the templates, or this is a template gallery, as you can see. And here you can create your new form. And these are the forms you have already created. What about sign in? How do you sign in? Through which account do you sign in into Google Forms? It's simple. The account you are using this time on the Google browser will be set as the default account in your Google Forms. So now let's get started to create a new. So now let's create a new form. To start a new form, click on the blank option here, or I can say blank template, and this is the main page of your Google Forms. Now how do you rename your form first, because the default name for your form is untitled form. So now to rename your form, here if you can see my cursor, just click here and write the name. For example, I write trial form. Okay, here you can start your form. Okay, and one thing, if you notice here, that here you can see every change made to your form is directly saved into your Google Drive. So now let's see the basics and settings of the form. After renaming your form, you can move here to the settings menu. Here you can configure the settings of your form. By clicking it once, you'll enter the settings menu. Now here you can see the collect email addresses option. This is useful when you want to collect email addresses from your respondents, and until they don't fill in their email addresses, they cannot proceed or submit the form. So if we select this, then it's the response receipts. These are useful when respondents ask for a copy of their responses on their provided email addresses above. Now if we even click this option, you'll get two more branched options, or I can say nested options. What are they? If respondent requests for it, and always. Now what is this if respondent requests it? It means that the respondent has the liberty to choose whether he wants a copy of his response or not, or you have the choice that he'll receive it always on the provided email address. Now let's keep it if respondent requests it. Then is the limit to one response option. This accepts only one response from one respondent if you want to. So if you just select this option, So as you can see, respondents will be required to sign into Google. What does this mean? That it will only accept one response from one email address, and this is also a useful option when you want just one response from one respondent. Then if we move below, we can see the option respondent scan edit after submit. If you select this option, that means that the respondents can edit their response even after they submit, even after they submit their response. And we'll select it. Then I see summary charts and text responses. Here they can see others responses who have responded to these forms, and that's also useful. Then if we move to the top, here you can see the presentation, and here's show progress bar. Let's keep that shuffle question order. That means the question order will be shuffled after every respondent responses to your form. We'll keep also this one. Then is the confirmation message. So what is the confirmation message? It is that when a respondent submits the form, he will have this message on the screen. So by the default, the message is your response has been recorded. Then we'll not move to quizzes this time, and at the last we'll save the form. After configuring the settings of this form, we'll move here customize theme. So by clicking it, you'll enter a new environment, and this is the header image. So what is a header image? So a header image is an image which comes above the form title. So if we click on choose an image, so these are some images. So for example, if we select this one and just insert, so image uploaded, it will automatically change the theme color according to the heading. Here you can see it automatically change the theme color. Then we have the basic font style. What is a font style? It is the style, it is the font of your form. For example, I select the formal, so here you can see automatically changed. Then we'll exit the theme options. This is the preview option, and here you can preview your form. Now let's edit the body of the form. So first of all, you can here see is the heading of the form. Then is the form description. It's optional, you can keep description or not. For example, I write this is a trial form. This is the description of your form. Then we'll move below. Then we'll learn how to add a question to your form. Here you can see this option add question. Just click it and you will have a question below. Now the question is, how many types of questions do you have in your Google Forms? But there are 11 types of forms, which are short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, checkboxes, drop down, file upload, linear scale, multiple choice, grid, tick box, grid, date and time. So there are 11 types, and that's enough for us. Now let's start with short answer. Now you'll see there's nothing special in short answer, but before we go into the depth of this question, or I can say the type of question, we'll move to the attributes of this question. Now what attributes this question has got? First of all, let's go into here, these three dots. Sorry. Okay, now we'll go here. Then is the description. Now let's add a description to this question. This is a question. Like we had the description of the form, we have a description of a question. And then is the response validation. This is a little complex but is really useful. Now what is this? You have four options here: number, text, length, and regular expression. Let's set this to number. Now it tells us that the number should be greater than or equal to, and likewise you have the, for example, let's keep it greater than and enter the number, for example 110. Okay, and if you write for example 9, it will print an error. It will show up an error and it will show a message that is entered here. This is the response validation. Then we have the required. If you keep it like this, this means that until and unless the respondent hasn't filled out this question, he cannot submit the form or move to the next section of the form. So now let's test our form to get so that we'll get to know what is the response validation and the required. Here you can preview. Okay, this is it. First of all, email address. I'll not enter it to see that what will happen. And this is a question. For example, I write 9. Okay, we write, look, must be a number greater than 10. And now if we write 2019, and there is the send me a copy of my response, and if we submit, this is a required question. So this is how Google Form works. Now we'll keep editing our form. Before proceeding further, we'll give this question a name. So we'll write write name. So name cannot be a number, so we'll add length, and name should not have maximum characters, should be, let's keep it 55. Okay, now what does this mean? This means that a person enters 56 characters into the name question. He cannot proceed to the next question because he will pop up with an error. Now let's add a question. But okay, so here we have a question. Now this time we'll go with paragraphs. Okay, now first of all we'll give this a name. Write anything. Okay, this is the paragraph. Now before we move further, first of all we'll make this required. And now how to add images to your question. This option you can see, just click on it and you have the Google image search. It's the best one, or if you have the image in your computer, you can select the image by doing that. For example, I'll write something like for example I'll write paint brush. Now I have a lot of them. Let's add this one and insert this. Now this is the image. Okay, here you have the settings. You can align, you can write a line, you can add a caption, you can remove or you can change the image. And this is how we insert an image to your Google form. Now let's see how to add another question with a video in it. First of all, we'll go here, name the question anything. Okay. Now we have the multiple choice after that. Okay. We can add the option 1 as nothing, option 2 as everything, and this is the or add other. The respondent, if respondent cannot find his the option he was going to select was not in the provided ones, he can write it here other. And let's keep this also as required. Now how to add a video? Just click here. For example, we'll write. Now the thing is that if you cannot find your video in here, just go to the platform from where you got that video and paste its URL here. So for example, I'll select a video. Now how do we add videos? Here you click this option and paste the URL here. It will automatically detect your video and click select, and this is the video. Here you can resize your video like this or like this. Then after that we have an add section option. Now what is this add section? If you have ever filled a form, you have the next option that's it moves you to a next section or a page in Google Forms. For example, I'll write questions. You can add the description here, it's optional. Then now we'll start adding questions and we'll try to discuss each and every type of question. So far we reached a short answer type, paragraph and multiple choice. Now we have the check boxes. Now for example, I'll write, to give a better example, who is in your sports club. Now this is a checkbox. Now I'll write A. Here you have some suggestions A, B, C, D. This is also good feature in Google Forms. Then I'll write E, F. Now for example, B and D aren't in your sports club. You can click all you can select all the options like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and you can leave these. So the basic point that what checkboxes are, that you can select multiple options in a form. Then let's move forward. Now after that, after checkboxes, we have the drop down. It's also a useful feature. For example, question is your class. Option 1, first, second, third, and so on. Okay, now this will place your question, and you have a drop down menu here. You click it, you get these options there and select your class. Then let's keep this a required question. Then we'll move to another question, another type of question. After drop down we have the file upload. This is also a useful feature. Okay, here you have to sign into Google. Respondents will be required to sign into Google when file upload questions are added to a form. So we'll click continue. Now the question is upload any file. Here you allow specific file types. Now document, spreadsheet, PDF, video, audio, image, drawing and presentation. So if you don't want to get spreadsheets, you can click all except spreadsheet. So if then someone uploads a spreadsheet, he will not be able to crack this question. So we'll keep like document and PDF. There is maximum number of files 1, 5 and 10. We'll keep that one. Maximum file size, you have 1 MB, 10 MB, 100 MB, 1 GB and 10 GBs. So it's up to you how much will you accept. Let's keep that to 1 MB and let's keep this record. Now let's add another question. After file upload we have the linear scale, and here you can select anyone from 0. Let's keep that from 1 to 10. Label 1 good and here excellent. You will get to know what I mean here. Now make this required and move to the next question. So it will appear like this to the respondent. He has to choose a number on this scale. So as this is required, he cannot skip this question. Now let's add another type of question. After linear scale we have the multiple choice grid. Now what is it? For example, I'll write are you a man, and here I'll add a column yes or no. Then I'll so now how will this appear to you? By clicking add question, it will appear to the respondent like this. Are you a man? Yes or no. Then the next type of question is the tick box grid. Now it is like the multiple choice grid, but after previewing the form you will get to know their differences. Now row 1 I'll write are you a man, column 1 yes no. Then we'll move to another question, and look, it appears the same like multiple choice grid, but only difference is they have here square and there are circle. But after previewing the form you will get to know the difference between multiple choice grid and the tick box grid. Now let's move to another type of question. The next type of question we have is the date. So it's simple, you just have to click the option and everything will be done. It's a day, month and year. And let's keep this required. Now we'll leave another section so that we don't forget what we did. Now we'll select time and add another question. Next type of question we have is the time. Sorry. Now likewise date, you don't have to do nothing, just select the option. And let's keep this also required. Our form is now ready, and now let's preview the form. To preview the form you have this eye here, just click on it. Okay, now this is the main form we have created. First of all, as we selected the option in setting while configuring settings that limit to one response. That's why it shows it above. Then is write email. For example, I write abcd at okay only this much. Then I'll move here. It automatically detects must be a valid email address. Okay, I'll write at gmail.com and I'll write what do you learn from the video below. We'll start learning CSS anything, and here other you can write anything. That's how this option works. Then here you can view your video. Then there's your name, Mr. A. Then it was a meaningless question, anything, nothing. Then write anything. I am a boy. That's it. Then this was the section that we created. Next. Okay. This was the drop down menu. Your class, choose. First, second, third. This is how it works. Then is the date and year. Here you can choose 10th August 2020. Then was this question, are you a man? Now this was the tick box grid. Now you can click both the options. While here, are you a man? That's how it works. Then was a linear scale 1, 2, 3. This shows the scale. This was linear scale. Then is upload any file. Now let's upload a file. Now let's go to add file. Okay, select from your device and let's go to top and select anything. For example, okay, let me select a file here. Now I selected a file here. This is a document and here it is. You can click upload. Okay, if you do not want to, you cannot. Who is in your sports club? This was another question. Let me select A, B, C. These are called check boxes. Then we'll move to third section, time. Write the time 12:37 or 32. Then here you have to send me a copy of my responses. You can do like this and then click submit. Now okay, this is the response has been recorded. Now we had configured the settings to edit your response. Here click it and you're back. But this, okay, here it is, everything that you wrote. Now we'll exit this, leave. Now here you have the responses. It shows up one because I filled it. Okay, who has responded? abcd@gmail.com. Name, one response, Mr. A. Write anything, I am a boy, anything, one response, nothing. So it is really confusing, but here who is in your sports club, you get bar graphs and everything, pie chart, and upload any file. You can click the file to view it, and this is how you create and preview your Google form. Then is here accepting responses. If you do not want to accept more responses for your form, then you can click this button and no one can then fill any response. And this is create spreadsheet. If I click it, you will get to know what happens. Okay, great. So this is it. At what time respondent responded, email address, name, writing thing, anything, what do you learn. So it gives every information. Here is it, your class, upload any file. It's still loading. So are you man? No, yes, no. That's how we responded. So thanks for watching my video. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, and do not forget to press the bell icon so that you'll never miss my any video. Thanks.